Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I've been going strong since this morning at 9 a.m. and just so happy to be here on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. I'm the founder, president, and chief listening officer here at our network. Today's show is a woman's prerogative. This is a show for women, by women, and about women. And we have our panelists who are ready to have a conversation with us about masculine and feminine energies. And we have a special guest today also who has a lot of expertise in this area. Let's welcome our panelists. We have JENETTA Barry and the Epiphany Process. Hello, JENETTA, welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody out there watching and listening. Welcome.
And you're still in East Africa, correct?
I am still in East Africa, and it is 11 o'clock at night.
And you started with me the first thing this morning, so thank you so much. This is your third show today. Much appreciated.
It is.
And we have joining us from Canada, TRACY LAMOURIE. Let's welcome her. She's a celebrity publicist. Hello, TRACY.
Hi, everybody. How are you guys?
Hi, nice to have you with us today.
Excited to be here. This is a great topic.
Thank you. Thank you. And we have a special guest. She is joining us from the UK, from London. Her name is Madeline Chan. And if you don't know her, you need to know her. She's an international award-winning singer, songwriter. She's a novelist. And she is someone who has helped me unlock my feminine energies. I didn't even know I had any. I was just operating in masculine energies. So let's welcome Madeline to the show.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi, TRACY, JENETTA. Hi, Dr. JACALYN.
Hi, nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our other panelists have the day off, so we have a small group, and that's okay. It's a small and mighty group. So, Madeline, you and I partnered together and developed a course. And the course name is Heart Gratification, Male and Female Energies. And we actually have a clip that we're going to be rolling. But tell our audience a little bit about your interest and expertise when it comes to these energies.
Right. With heart gratification, I've always followed my heart. And sometimes, and previously in the past, I followed my heart, but also my ego heart. And I had to learn to understand when my true intuition of my heart was speaking through me. And the male and female energies, I had to learn because I was always that type of person that was a people pleaser and submitting, always not deciding anything and always getting the male to make a decision for me. I just could never make a decision. So therefore, my life threw me in a direction where I had to learn about the male energy and the female energy and what it means. And with the heart, because I learned more about the heart because I sing, and I had to learn to listen to my intuition of my heart rather than listen to people that thought that was explaining things, trying to guide me in the best way they could. And I found at the end of the day, the guru was in my heart. So I had to take that trip. So that's how I came to learn about being in tune with my heart. And because I woke up in 2012, I realized, hey, I can't carry on like this. This is an illusion. This life is such an illusion for me. I've got to find out and identify the real me. And the only way was to go within, and get to know my heart, because I knew my creative heart, but I had to know my heart on all levels. So
Beautiful.
that's all I can say.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And poor Jenetta, I think the matchsticks fell out of her eyes because it's so late and she's, oh, here she's back. Okay.
Jenetta!
Jenetta, I thought the matchsticks fell out of your eyes and you were sleeping.
Did I send you to sleep?
They pinged and broke the screen.
So funny. All right, let's stay on the topic for the moment. So, Madeline, you and I got together, whatever day it was, and you directed me in these 4 scenarios about feminine, high energy, masculine, high energy, and then feminine, low energy, and masculine. So let's take a look at these, and then let's talk about how we in our careers and what it is we're doing, how we use our masculine or feminine energy, and in what ways we do that. All right, does that make sense? All right, here we go. Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to the meeting today. Thank you so much for being on time. Everyone looks so happy. I see your smiling faces, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate your loyalty and all of the hard work that you do here at our company. It's because of you that we have the clients that we have who keep coming back to us. So thank you so much. Let's get the meeting started. I just want to start off by saying thank you for all the work that you've done to date. It's greatly appreciated. That's in the past. We are moving on because we have new deadlines, new budgets, and I expect everybody to be on their toes because we have a lot of things that we have to accomplish for our shareholders. Okay, let's get started. The first task that we need is for somebody to volunteer to take us into the plant and give us a tour of the latest equipment that we have. Who's going to do that? I tried, I really did, but it never works out for me. No matter what I do, nothing works out for me. I don't know what the problem is. I'm here, I show up, but it always falls apart. Just sick of it. You know what? I've had enough of you. Sick of this house. Nothing's clean. I come home, the kids are screaming and yelling. I've been working all day. What are you doing? Just taking up valuable air and space while everything's on me. I'm the one who has to pay all the bills. I'm the one who has to deal with my boss. And what are you doing? Eating bonbons and watching soap operas? Yeah, I've had enough.
Wow. I was so impressed with that. It's such a wonderful, I mean, that really was amazing role play.
I want to know, thank you. I want to know what feelings were coming up for you, Jenetta, and for Tracy as you were watching female high, female low, male low. Let's start with Tracy.
So when you did, okay, I wish I'd written down, when you did female low at one point, when it was the one where you were like, oh, you know, nothing works out for me. I was going to say, and I know we're talking about people have masculine and female energies, right? But it was interesting that that was a female energy to me because the first person that I thought of that does that is like a male that I know. And I thought, oh, yeah, it's interesting because just like we have our masculine energies, you know what I mean? It goes both ways. But yeah, it's funny how we view or that, you know, that lower, less, you know, we're automatically labeling that less powerful thing is the female. And we're automatically labeling that power thing is male. And I never really had thought about, oh, I behave in a masculine way or a feminine way. But when you got into the next one, or I don't remember which order, but the one where it was a masculine high energy one with the meeting, like, okay, guys, we're going to do this. I was like, okay, that's way more like me than that feminine one right before, which was all energies, right? But at the same time, I would be tempering that, not on purpose, but naturally, I'd be tempering that masculine thing with like, okay, everybody did an amazing job. Go. I know we're going to do great this week. Because people have told me that I should be, what do you call that? Like a life coach. as well, just because when my clients get down, I'll be like, no, but it's organic, it's natural, right? So I thought that was really interesting. I related to the meeting guy, that high energy guy meeting, like, let's get this done. But it was like completely, like, there was no feeling in that one. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that was before, great job. That was before. I would like pump up. So I think I would be like in that scenario, I would maybe be like 80 masculine, 20 feminine.
Thanks, Tracy. How about you, Jenetta?
If I look at all 4 scenarios seriously, I've done all 4 at some time in my life, many times. Many times during various scenarios in my life, depending who I'm with and what I'm dealing with. I've been in all 4 energies. Own it, now able to observe it. So for me, this was more of an observation exercise for me than bringing up any feelings apart from, oh my gosh, I've been there so many times, depending who I'm with. Because I think we covered this before in previous sessions, where we react differently to different people in different relationships, when we were talking particularly about romantic relationships. So what I am with, say, my ex-husband to who I am with Andy now is a totally different person, and so on. And so I've seen each of those energies come and go in my life, depending on what's happening, who I was with, and the coping tools I did or didn't have at that time. And it's just so amazing to watch it. And by the way, very well acted. I think the Oscar goes to Dr. Jacalyn. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I have to thank my director, Madeline. So, Madeline, what I'd love for you to share is, and then we'll go around. So you have had different parts of your career, and
Yes.
And each part of your career, you need to tap into different energies. And what do I mean by that? So you obviously are a performer, you're a singer, songwriter, you've been on stages across the world. You're also a vocal coach, and you're a novelist. And each one of these, you have to bring out different parts of you. So how would you say, and when would you say you're operating out of your female or your male energies?
Right. I would definitely say when I am performing live performance in front of a big audience, like a big stadium, like when I did the Multi-Music Awards, or when I went on tour with a big band in a big auditorium, I had to channel my masculine energy, because the masculine energy is going, yeah, go get her, let's do it, let's go up, that type of thing. It doesn't mean gender, it's energy. So I had to for that, but then I can sing in a more intimate surrounding, and I channel my feminine energy, because I don't need that like that. It's going to be, okay, the next song that we're going to do is, just nice and relaxed, just sit back and just express. However, if there's a song that I need to bring a little bit more of a confident tone through, then I'll bring the masculine energy through. Through writing, I would say, again, it's a balance. There's certain characters in the story that needs a soft tone, nurturing, mothering. And there's other characters of a masculine, which are more about go-getter, more even about war type of thing, because with, being assertive, but even conflict is the negative masculine energy. And sometimes then I had to bring another character in, which was more about the negative feminine female energy, about the young girl that felt unworthy, didn't feel loved, didn't love herself. So therefore, everything else in her outer world, she was attracting not being loved. And for teaching, For teaching, it's a blend of both, really, because I have to, when I'm speaking in trying to bring that confidence of bringing something through that is masculine. However, I have to blend it with the feminine energy as well, because with teaching, it's almost you have to come through, but then step back a little in order for your students' masculine energy to come through. Because otherwise, if my masculine energy is going through and then the student's masculine energy is coming through, there's going to be conflict. That student will think, oh, you're trying to compete with me, or you're trying to do one up on me. So with me withdrawing and becoming more the feminine, relaxed, nurturing, listening, the male energy can come through from the student, which is, confidence and yes, we can do it. Yes, I can do this. So if that's the answer to your question. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much. And for everyone who doesn't know, I am actually Madeline's student. So there. Okay, thank you. Let's go to Tracy. So Tracy, you are a wife, you're a mother, you're a celebrity publicist, and so much more. How and when do you bring out your female or your male energies?
Yeah, it's funny because, like I said, until this conversation, I've never really thought about it in those terms, but now I'm definitely thinking about it, and it'll be in my head all the time now. I would say obviously the female energy, when I'm, doing my mom thing, doing my grandma thing, like this Monday when, Monday morning, it's the most busy time of my week is probably Monday between 9 and 12. And my daughter called me this week. She's got a new baby, 9 months old. She almost never called me. She almost never, she called me all the time, but in terms of, I need you, Mom, I need some time. And this was the first time I was proud that I, put everything aside. I finished that sentence and I was at her house in 20 minutes. And then, so that was some, strong female energy. But I made sure I made my deadlines for that week, that night as well. So that's the male energy, I guess. But, most of the time I think I would run on the male energy, like getting up there, getting to work, starting my day, boom, boom, boom. And, I felt guilty at times when, my kids and my husband have had to say, stop working so much, put it aside, come do this, come do that. So I guess, again, that's the typical male energy. But, I don't know if you call it female energy. We just did a complete, reno of my space, which is my place up here. And we're doing the same thing downstairs. And I've been putting the same kind of single-minded energy into that as I do into my work. But, in a more, like in terms of, I do it at this time and then I do this at this time and then I take this time to do that. But, so I don't know what kind of energy that is. But, yeah, I find that like, that I guess that nurturing, homemaking, wanting to make everything perfect in our space is what's traditionally considered the female energy. And then in family, you'd probably, in my general life, if you took family into it and everything, it would be more of like a 60-40 split, but still close to the male energy because I have that like, now's the time, let's get things done. We have an agenda, we have a schedule. So I've been successful in doing that, with my business. So that carries over into personal life, right?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
So a quick question I have before we go over to JENETTA. So I cook dinner every night, but I don't feel like I'm in my feminine energy because it's like I've got this amount of time to do it. And while I'm doing it, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So Madeline, you know me, right? You know that's how I am. Mom, it's time for dinner. You got to sit down. It's like, boom, boom, boom.
Put that slop on there.
That's right. So anyway, I'm not sure if is there any feminine energy in there or not? We could talk about that another time. Let's go over to JENETTA.
Yeah, I've definitely been in my male energy the last couple of days trying to get things to happen as I came down to Nairobi. So much so that I got asked this morning, you seem very stressed. And I said, well, I don't know if it's stressed, I'm driven. And maybe some aspects of stress came in. So yeah, it comes and goes depending on what I'm dealing with. and who I'm dealing with. If I look at my work, I'm mostly in a neutral, or should I say a combination of all those energies when I'm working with my clients, until it might need a bit of nurturing energy. Or when the person's very close to a breakthrough and resisting, doing that last bit of work that will give them the breakthrough, then I have to go into very strong male energy. So for me, it's about embracing all those energies when they're necessary and working on not judging them or over controlling them, just allowing them to be and to come out when it's appropriate, when it's the most appropriate place in that space time. And I love juggling that now, whereas before I'd go away and go, oh, you were too harsh, or oh, you were too soft. I don't do that so much anymore. I just allow what is needed in that space time.
Thank you, Jenetta. I appreciate that. So a question I have for the panel today is, and this is just to get us engaged in talking. I was named Jacqueline. That's my name, Jacqueline. But yeah, when I was younger, I was always Jackie. Everybody called me Jackie. And at some point in my corporate career, I decided that was no longer, it's now Jacqueline. And so when I see people from the past who call me Jackie, my skin crawls. And I would say to someone, actually, a guy I dated, he always called me Jacqueline. And then at some point he called me Jackie. And I said, no, Jackie doesn't exist anymore. That Jackie is gone. But yet people will say, no, I see you as Jackie. And to me, Jackie's the fun girl, the happy girl. And I'm still happy, but I'm not that girl anymore. So I don't know. Does that have anything to do with me being in my masculine energy most of the time? Or is that I need a therapist? Madeline, how about you?
I think it's just a case of that you've got to allow yourself to have that fun. And fun can either be male or feminine, masculine or feminine energy. I think it's just about having a balance as well. But I think it's just about you deciding, I want, it's time to have fun and allowing yourself to have that fun. And know that the fun that you're going to have in your life will not detract you from your mission.
Well, can Jacqueline have fun, or can only Jackie have fun? And then we'll go to Tracy. Go ahead. Tracy, go ahead.
Jacqueline can have fun. Come on. Can have fun.
I just love the rule book that you're busy writing. It's kind of like, and this rule book comes from where?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, if you go by that, like my image, Tracy's become a very popular name since around a few years after. When I was little, it was rare. There was when you went to those things where it had your name, on little plaques and stuff, there was never ever Tracy. It was about 10 years after that you started to see Tracy, right? But it's an old name, it used to be like a traditional English boy's name, I think, at one time. But in most of the time, if you picture Tracy, or at least me, people who don't know me or haven't met me, Tracy sounds like that, like a cheerleader, hey, Tracy, it's a ditzy little, oh, Tracy's gonna, you know what I mean? But that's not me, So I've always been very serious. I've always been a reader. I've always been, as much as I've been fun, and I don't think of myself as a, So that's funny how but I think names, do have an effect on you too. At the same time, it's been proven, I think. So I don't know, I think it's important to how you want to. It's important if you want to be. But I also know my friend, Yolanda hated her name. She's not with us anymore. We grew up, and she just hated her name. Her parents loved it because it was, traditional. But growing up, it was rare, and nobody had it. So she wanted to call herself Susan. And when she went to a different school, because that was her middle name, 2 years into me knowing her, she was trying to call herself Susan. And I really tried, to call her Susan. But she was I always forgot, because it was, I knew her as that original person. But at the same time, just like people should be able to change their identities, and they do, their gender or whatever, we have to get used to it. So if you want to be called Jacqueline and not Jackie, that's something everyone needs to do as much as they can, you know. But also, I think you are Jackie, you are Jacqueline. She's not gone. There's not like a different person for each of those names, you know. That's how you kind of compartmentalize it in your head. But it's just, you know, but I see what you mean about like how we present ourselves to the world. But I never thought, I didn't have an alternative. I didn't have a longer version of Tracy. You know, it's just like either change my name or, so I just, you know, now I think I've reclaimed the Tracy.
Thanks, Tracy. Madeline, did you want to say something?
Yeah, you're reading my mind.
Wow.
Basically, I was always called Mads. Hey, Mads, what you doing, Mads? And I associated Mads because I used to play being foolish, because I knew I would get the dizzy and say funny things and dizzy things. And then I started to think, oh, people like this. People are liking me. So I played on it even more. But now I do not like the name Mads. I do, honestly. It's a case of that is not me anymore. And my family sometimes say, hey, Mads. I says, hey, no, I'm not that, you know. And it's really strange how you associate certain behaviors with certain nicknames that you got, like even with Maddie. People used to spell my name Maddie. And I said, and I used to go along with it, but now it's like, no, please don't spell my name like that, because it's like Mad Die.
Oh, wow. Never thought of that.
Yeah, Mad Die. And that is a very low vibration. So I decided Mad Maddee, Maddie.
Madeline, it's interesting because doing the film and music show with you, you brought a number of film and music artists, and they call you Maddie. But yeah. I only know you as Madeline. So to me, you're not Maddie. I would never just all of a sudden start calling you Maddie, because I'd have to ask for permission to do that. But to me, you're Madeline.
Yes. And I feel that when I change, Madeline, that's who I am. That's what, you know. So, yeah. I mean, my friends call me Maddie because they're used to it. And for me to say, can you call me Madeline? They'll go, no. No. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Jenetta, you want to say something?
Yeah, it's a moot point, and it's something I've been saying for some time, is that it's the energy we choose to put into a word. The word is just the word. So a very good example, when I first started doing this work about 15 years ago, I was in a corporate environment with all men, and all they were looking at were my boobs. And I knew what I had to say was quite profound, but that wasn't where their attention was. So I started using the word every second or third word. And suddenly the eyes were looking into my eyes going, what's she saying? Da, 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 da. And I got their attention, and it got me thinking. And of course, they all started laughing, and I laughed with them. But it got me thinking very much about the energy we attach to whatever, but especially words. Because I had German friends in my teens, and we were in a garden with a fig tree, and I was saying to them, do you want some figs? And would you like a fig? And they were going, fig, and they were highly offended because it's a very rude word in German. So is my word rude or isn't it? No, it's not for me. Yes, it is for them. So which is it? Well, it's whatever you want to attach energy to it, it is. And that's why swear words or words that are demeaning to other people are only meaningful if one attaches energy to it that makes it, and if you decide to take it that way. And when I realized that, it was so liberating for me. So I don't mind what I'm called, as long as I've got my charge attached to what I'm called into balance. I'm actually mostly called Netta, not Jenetta. So when my friends do come onto this forum, you're going to hear them saying Netta this and Netta that. And to me, it's a very soft, endearing way of saying we love you and cherish you. And some people call me Jen and some call me Jay. And Jen is an interesting one because Jenny was also called Jen. And, you know, I take it in my stride because I can choose whether it offends me, puts the hair back on the back of my neck up, or it doesn't. It's entirely up to me.
Yes, good points. I'm really giving it a lot of consideration what you're saying. Madeline, you're on mute. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Jenetta, that is amazing in the way that you decide the energy behind those words rather than because otherwise we get offended and the other person, like in Dublin, they go feck, but it's just, to them it's like, oh dear, I've done a blunder. Oh, but other people will think, did you just say what I thought you said? So it's so strange that you're in the way that other people listen to certain words that they're accustomed to, and that's the tradition in how it's carried, expressed. So that's quite interesting what you're saying about the energy behind it. You decide. You don't get upset if somebody says something to you. You have a way of
absolutely. Not only do I not get upset, it's very apparent that the word they're delivering to me has the energy about it that's menacing or derogatory or whatever it is, and it's very obvious that they're being like that. Again, I remove myself from the word, cut all the emotion away from that, and go very clearly to what that really is all about, so that I can say to them, rather like I hear you do, Dr. Jacalyn, where I go, I hear that this is what, and I feel and sense this is what you're feeling, and what really is that about? Rather than going, how dare you call me a name? Because now we're in the drama and the story, which distracts from what actually is happening. So when I can peel away the attachment to whatever that word energy has been given and actually go straight to them and go, okay, so what's this about? I sense and I feel, and do you want to talk about it? If you don't, but if you're going to direct this and you don't want to talk to me about it, I suggest that we part ways or whatever, and come up with solutions and invite a conversation. And that really brings all energies into neutral again, and words are forgotten, because that's the story I always talk about. The story distracts.
Fascinating. Thank you for sharing that. I know we're a little bit off of masculine and feminine energies, but just to close it out, I think for me, it's more of a respect issue. So if I meet you and you say my name's Jenetta Barry, and I go, hey, Netta, how's it going? You didn't give me permission. You didn't say you may call me, or I prefer to be called. You said my name's Jenetta. So why would I call you something other than that unless I had earned the right by you giving me that right? I don't know. Am I off?
So agree. It's really, really a case of that's not having an energy attached to the words. That's somebody almost disrespecting your boundaries. It's not so much the words as the disrespect again, because they're deciding what they're going to call you, not what you are called. So it's not about the word again, it's the disrespect.
Thank you. Madeline, I see you want to say something.
You were so in my head.
We spend too much time together. No, I'm kidding. I love spending time with you. Go ahead. What do you want to share?
I don't want to go back to male and female energies. The way that I'm just thinking that, do you think that we are aware when we're being in the negative male and the negative female energies? Because throughout the day, you've got your positive male, positive female, negative male, negative female. And it's almost, I wonder, because sometimes I'm not even, sometimes I do when I really think, that was that. But I don't go, oh, that was negative. Oh, that was this. That was that, because that's just going to drive me mad completely. But I'm just wondering if we are aware that we are doing this.
I would say I'm definitely aware when I'm in my masculine low vibration. Like, for example, on a Friday, I'm definitely in my masculine mode and my vibration level is very low. So please do not call me. Please do not ask me to do anything because I feel it in my person, right? I just feel it. Anybody else? Tracy?
Go ahead, Janetta.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, and were you asking about times, particular times when you would feel it?
Yes.
I don't know. I think if you want to say, like, again, if I would say that masculine is a kind of business, stress, do it now, then I would say definitely Fridays and is my second, that Friday afternoon. But the biggest one is for me because it's a huge media Monday morning, because they're responding to all those pictures when it was quiet. And I sent out hundreds of pictures for all kinds of clients. You know, Monday, I'll often get the response. And then also Monday, media is putting out like requests like crazy. And I'm, looking at all the sources and seem to be, everybody got to the office and they're calling me. So, who was thinking, so it's like all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, and there's like a million things to do. And I am not in any kind of like, I have to remind myself not to yell for no reason if anybody in my family even talks to me in that 2 hours, because they just see me sitting there like a normal day, but I'm like responding to like 500 things, and so they say one little thing to me and I'm like, why are you talking to me? And they're like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, oh, sorry, I know I just feel like I'm just sitting here like it's a normal, but I got a million things going on, so I would say that, like that if I'm thinking about time, that would be the most, the least empathetic and the least caring and the least like, and the most just like, go get this crap done. Not crap, but get this out of the way, X this out, look at this, see this, answer this, delete those emails that are just, whatever fluff comes into your inbox. I'm just trying to clear my brain of all the stuff and leave so that the important stuff is there. And so I have no room for like anything else, at that moment. But then right after that, I'm like, okay, I'll do my calls. How's the daughter? How you doing? How's my son in the other room? Why don't we go for a walk? And they're like, okay.
Tracy's back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. My mom is usually in her feminine energy. And so when we have dinner together, she'll, say, what did you do today? And she'll say, how was your day? And I'm like, my day? I stood for 8 hours. I did 8 shows. I did that. And I made the dinner. And then I'm like, and then all of a sudden, like, we both start laughing. And then the feminine, the soft side comes out, It's just...
That's so funny.
Yeah, I've got a grandbaby now, so my daughter will just call me like in a Zoom, and I'll be like in the middle of something. I'll be like, okay, what? And I always have to answer just to make sure everything's okay, which it always is. But and I click over, then she's like, look at the baby, and then I'm like, oh.
That's the softening part. For me, I would say my part that I haven't really experienced, and I'm only starting to experience now, is the positive male energy, as in stability, as in attracting the abundance, money, wealth, stability, responsibility, and stability. So this is an area that I've hardly got any experience of it, or the fact that I haven't really thought about it, because I never had the experience to actually attract that. I never thought of wanting that. But that's an area that I'm now moving into, because I have to, because I've done all the creativity, all this and this, and now it's time for me, the male positive aspect energy. So that's what I was lacking, and that's what I need to balance out.
Well, abundance is coming your way, my friend. Jenetta, what would you like to add as it gets close to midnight there?
Yes. Well, I was going to say, my male energy comes in at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday evening. I will stay awake. We have ways of making you stay awake.
Now, wait, I do want our audience to know that when we started this, Jenetta was in the UK, right? So the time was earlier, but now that you're in Africa. Yeah. Tracy, you had your hand raised?
I was ahead
Oh,
now.
no, I just said, because then the time was the other side. She would have been way early, like getting up,
Yeah.
But, Jeanette, she's a trooper. She's doing it no matter where the clock she is. So.
She is. I love that.
And Jenetta, you look so bright. You've brightened up. You've woken up.
I have.
During this program, you've actually just woken up.
Now she's going to be awake all night.
Well, that is actually what does happen on a Wednesday night. I go to bed going, now I could do so much. I go, whoa, that woman. Everybody's going, good.
Jenetta, here's the great news. This show right after this is Talking Heads with Mariska, and she's in New Zealand. So this is a time that works for her. And her segment is almost over. So we can start a new show with you at midnight. Jenetta at midnight. What do you think?
I definitely will wear my hat and my broom.
We can have Andy on the show too. Yeah, it'd be great. Be great for your relationship. So. Well, this has been fun. What do we want to share? I'm going to turn to Madeline for our audience who are really seriously interested about masculine and feminine energies. What can you share with them?
Just that try not to take it too serious in the way that, but just sort of try to tap into it if you can, especially if you've got something that you need to do and you've been putting it off. Tap into that masculine energy, and it's not gender, so please do not confuse it with gender, because your ego will say, hey, but you're feminine, you're not male, or oh, the feminine can do that, you don't have to be a male to do that, you can, it's gonna mess with you. So just try to relax into this, don't take it too serious, but try to begin to have an awareness, at least to realize when you need things, just be understand that you go getter, your ideas, they come from the electro, which is the mind. The masculine is the mind, and that is energy, not gender, please. And the feminine is the mothering, is the nurturing, is the compassion, is the will as well. But you also have the will as well as masculine. But you've just got to just understand, and that's magnetic. The feeling side is the feminine energy, and the thinking and the boom daga boom is the masculine energy. But please do not confuse it with gender. This is absolutely imperative. Otherwise, if you go down the gender, you're going to be messed up, very much so. So please don't confuse it. Don't let that ego convince you and say, hey, you know what, you're feminine, you're male. Oh no, you're feminine, you deserve that. Just because you're a male, you're gonna have confusion. So just breathe into it.
Breathing into it.
Just breathe into it.
Well, thank you so much for being our guest, and thank you, Tracy and Jenetta, for being here with us on the panel. And if you want to contact our panelists, we have our own website just for this show. It's a Woman's Prerogative TV radio show.com. And if you want to contact Madeline, her information is here. You can follow her on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. All right.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn, for having me on this show. It's, thank you. The Woman's Prerogative is a great show, great different topics of conversations. Thank you, Tracy. I adore your red hair, and you are getting into your feminine energy big time, big time. Jenetta, you are just a perfect balance. Totally.
She said when I'm not.
And Dr. Jacalyn, you are going to be Miss Sassy, Miss Beautiful Goddess. Woo, it's going to come oozing through you. You're going to cook with love.
Yes. Okay. There you have it. So as we close out the show, I'd love to spotlight each of you to promote your work and give the audience an opportunity to engage with you. Let's start with Tracy.
So you can find me at lamouriemedia.com. You can find me on LinkedIn. And you can phone me in Toronto, 289-788-5881. For the US, I have a Beverly Hills number that comes to me in Toronto at 424-444-8052. And I work internationally, getting media attention, no matter what it is you do, getting you quoted in global media, local media. And I'm happy to do a consultation, of course, for free with any of my friends from the channel, or any of you or any of our viewers from the channel.
Thank you, Tracy. Can you put the information in the private chat, and then I'll be able to share it with everyone? Okay, let's go over to Jenetta. Still awake. I'm waiting for her head just to fall forward. Jenetta.
You can get me. I'm Jenetta. No, I'm not. I really am asleep. Good night. All right. You can get me at theepiphanyprocess.com. And for that's for anybody who wants to step into embracing all those parts of them that feels that isn't working their life, where they feel challenged, especially where they feel they cannot communicate easily with the people around them that matter. So that's theepiphanyprocess.com, and also at worldjennysday.com, which is an international mental health day held on the 10th of October every year. So those two places, I'm very available and can get back to you as quickly as you need me to. Thank you.
Fantastic. And she really prefers that you contact her close to 1 in the morning or after. That's when she's doing her best work. So. Okay, Madeline Chan, how about you?
I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and you can find me at madeline-chan.com. And my Gmail is madelenecarolchan@gmail.com, MADELENECAROLCHAN@gmail.com. You can find me there. I don't actually know my mobile number off by heart. So anyway, you'll find me. And I'm also, with Dr. Jacalyn, with the elevated courses. So you can find us on the Thinkific, Dr. Jacalyn. And that's to go and study, come and study and learn something new about the fascinating, world of male and female energies and how it can change your life, and also to transcend your life, to change your life from living from an outworld existence to an inner world existence. So yes, please come and join us.
I feel like singing. MADELENECHA Madeline Chan. Madeline Chan. Okay. All right, stop. Tracy, I'm waiting for your contact info so I can put it into the comments. And Tracy's on mute. We can't hear you. You muted yourself.
I'm emailing it to you because I can't put in the chat without losing myself here.
Oh.
So.
Okay. So thank you for that. So for our audience, we would love to have you join us on this show or any of our other shows. Please go over to usaglobaltv.com. And ladies, thank you so much for being here today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn.
Bye.
Thank you, Jenetta.
Bye.
Thank you, Tracy.
Oh,
Love everybody.
Bye. Well, folks, we have one more show today. It's Talking Heads, and Mariska Dupree is going to share her knowledge and her wisdom about building teams. She calls it kingdoms. So please do stay with us for that show. You can find all of our shows over on our YouTube channel, which is USA Global TV. Please do subscribe and hit the bell so that you can find out about all of our shows. We currently have 28 shows a week. Take care for now. Bye.